Hi, this is Min and we're back on another episode of She Walks the World. And during this COVID-19 pandemic period, while we're stuck at home, I'm using the time to reminisce about my travels through food, and I'm quite enjoying it. And it's all these international dishes that I've been cooking that reminds me of my adventures around the world. Now you can also join me by heading on to my travel blog at shewalkstheworld.com and also trying to cook all these international dishes. So today I'm going to bring you to travel to the country of Vietnam. Yes, we're going to be cooking a Vietnamese dish, but first, you know, Vietnam has all these very delicious food that I have every time I visit the country. You know, they've got the pho, they've got this chicken dish where you get to tear it apart and serve it, and then they also have the banh mi. But I'm not confident to do all those like super fancy Vietnamese food, so we're going for the very simple Vietnamese spring rolls today. You know, it's a great starter to any delicious Vietnamese meals and also a good snack, and it goes best with the peanut dipping sauce. So that's what we're going to be making today. Let's get started with the Vietnamese spring rolls. We're going to start by making the peanut dipping sauce first. All you need is 3 tablespoons of hoisin sauce, 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, about 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, half a tablespoon of sugar, and 3 tablespoons of water. So we're going to heat some oil in the skillet and then simply fry the garlic until it turns brown and the smell comes out. Once that's done, we're going to put in the hoisin sauce as well as the water and stir it up well. After mixing it up a little, we're going to put in the peanut butter as well as the sugar and continue stirring. Let's still a little taste. That tastes so good. Alright, it's done. Off the heat it goes. So for our spring rolls, what we need is some lettuce. I'm using the red coral lettuce, but you can also use romaine or butter lettuce. For herbs, we have mint leaves, coriander or cilantro leaves, as well as some chives. You can also use basil if you prefer. And to add a little crispy crunch to your spring rolls, I'm using strips of cucumber and carrots, but you can also substitute it for bean sprouts or celery. As meat for a traditional Vietnamese spring rolls, they have prawns and pork belly. If you prefer, you can change the pork belly to a whole slab of pork belly and cut it into strips, or change it to chicken. You'll also need some rice vermicelli, and the most important ingredient of all is the Vietnamese rice paper. First, we're going to cook all the raw ingredients, and the rice vermicelli goes first into my bowl of boiling water. We're going to cook it until it gets soft. When it's done, we're going to drain the water and dip it in cold water to stop the cooking process. We're done! And the next raw ingredients to go into my pot of boiling water are the prawns and my pork belly slices. Then we'll wait for the water to boil again. And we're done! I've already peeled and deveined the prawns, so now I'm going to cut it into half. And we'll also cut the pork belly into bite-sized pieces. Alright, it's time to roll the spring rolls, and you should get all the ingredients ready in front of you to make the process easier. So we're going to start with soaking the Vietnamese rice paper. Put it on a flat surface or a plate, and then we'll start with putting in the salad. Make sure you leave a little, maybe about 1 cm on each side. Put in the fresh herbs, the cucumber slices and the carrots, a little bit of the rice vermicelli, and on the second row we'll put in the pork slices and the prawns. Make sure you face the pink colored part downwards, and then we'll start to tightly and gently roll up the rice paper. Roll up the sides after the first round, and just before the end you can put in the chives. We'll stick it out like this, like how the Vietnamese do it. There you go, a perfectly rolled Vietnamese spring roll. You can see the prawns here and the meat and the salad. Time to set the plate. So I'm going to put in the peanut dipping sauce and all my spring rolls. Ta-da! There you go! A beautiful plate of Vietnamese spring rolls. So I think making these Vietnamese spring rolls can be a fun activity for the family. You can all just gather around the table, start rolling together and eating it while you're at it. Thank you so much for joining me on another episode of She Walks the World. And if you want to see me cook other international dishes on the show, do give me some suggestions by just leaving a comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you can get notifications when a new episode comes up. And if you want to read about my travels in Vietnam, do head on to my blog at shewalkstheworld.com. Alright, now it's time to dig into these Vietnamese spring rolls. I'm gonna dip into this peanut sauce and just eat it.